Today's top picks from Reuters Breaking Views. BP and Rosneft prepare to announce a $25 billion deal. And we ask, is everything sacred in Canada as a string of foreign corporate takeover bids are blocked? With me now to discuss these stories is Reuters Breaking Views economics editor Edward Hadas. Ed, let's start with BP. Talks are at an advanced stage. No announcement today, of course. What would be a good deal for BP and its shareholders?
Well, what BP would love would be to continue to have the ample cash flow from Russia and to have operating control and access to investments. That was a deal it was hoping to get when it signed up with Rosneft earlier this year. But that's been scotched both because of Russian political considerations and because its partners weren't happy, its Russian partners, its oligarch partners weren't happy with that. So now the deal, it's the best deal that's available for it, is to have a minority share in Rosneft and to be amply compensated for its operations in TNK BP, which looks like what it's going to get.
I was just going to say, are we likely to get that?
We are indeed likely to get that. And it's, as I say, it looks like the best thing available at present. And consider the alternative. At one point earlier this year, it looked like they might be squeezed out of Russia, forced to take a not very attractive price for their asset because they didn't really have anyone else to sell it to, and not have any access. Instead, it looks like they're going to get some kind of share in a company that should be able to generate some dividends, and not so bad, really.
But BP, as we know, has been a big payer of dividends over the years, and it's unlikely Rosneft is going to be as big a payer of dividends.
Yeah, you know, they were doing extremely well from the TNK BP investment. You know, if this price turns out to be correct, they'll basically have quintupled their money. They've put in $8 billion, they've taken out $17 billion in dividends. And that dividend cash flow was continuing. Whether Rosneft will be able to be as generous remains a pretty tough question.
Okay, and of course that's one that BP shareholders will be asking themselves.
Yes, they will be wondering whether this is the best possible deal, but you know, it's tough doing business in Russia, so it probably is a pretty good place to be. Okay,
sticking with energy and resources, you say Canada is indulging in protectionist practices. They've just blocked a $5.2 billion takeover bid from Petronas. What's going on here?
Well, they haven't fully blocked it yet. They seem to have at least delayed it. It could be resuscitated. But it does look like this is one of a long string of blocking for dubious geopolitical grounds of deals, including not just resources, but also retail and indeed a media deal last week. It looks like the protectionist flavor in Canada is becoming much, much stronger.
But it's pretty strong everywhere, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest here.
Yeah, it is, and it's particularly strong in resources. People feel very strongly that they want to control in the national way their resources. But what's unusual is that Canada has not traditionally been that much of a resource nationalist leader. It's been quite open to investments, and it's been a quite great beneficiary from free trade, of capital control as well as of investment. And so it's a sort of alarming symptom to see this sort of bastion of free trade taking up protectionism with such vigor, both at the provincial level and at the national level.
Is it alarming, or is it to be expected? I mean, every country on the planet wants to protect their energy and resource independence and security. I mean, not least, for example, the US.
Yeah, it's been a great pressure. One of the great accomplishments of the last two generations has been the willingness to have much more global companies and much more global view of resources. And even in an era of resource nationalism, you've still been able to protect some of this. So it looks like that era may be coming to an end.
Okay, Edward, thank you very much. That's all for now. My thanks there to Edward Hadas. For more agenda-setting financial insight, do watch our US Breaking Views show every day at 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 BST. I'm Jamie McGeever. This is Reuters.